offers much criticism of the religious leaders. And today we also celebrate the feast of St. Augustine, and there might be something between the two of them. St. Augustine is one of the great doctors and great saints of the church, and his mother, St. Monica, brought him up in a Christian household and prayed for him to be the good Christian. But at about the age of 19, he left the faith. He became even anti-Catholic, anti-Christian for a while, but kept pursuing philosophy until finally he became Christian. He was fascinated by the monastic life. He became a monk, later bishop, and is one of the great saints and great theologians of the church. And if you listen to his prayer in his confessions, he says, God, we were made for you, and we are restless until we are with you. But there's this tension within each of us, to keep God at arm's length, because coming close to God, we will change. And St. Augustine prayed for the grace of conversion, but not now. There's this uncomfortableness that we have about having to change. But St. Augustine says, God, we know that we were made for you, and our hearts are restless until we rest in you. How can we change? We have to first recognize the abiding presence of God in the depths of our heart. If that is the foundation of all the spiritual life, it is responding to that grace that is within us and that grace that calls us to life. It's not about the externals, and Jesus in the gospel today is criticizing people for all of the externals, that they're focusing on the incidentals and not getting the very truth of what faith is all about. The abiding presence of God in the world and in each one of us that makes our life sacred, that makes life so beautiful. And coming to the realization of just how close God is and the true blessings that we receive, we're not going to get anything right until we kind of acquiesce to this, surrender to the very power of God, not at some future date, not sometime well in the past, but today, in our lives, in our hearts, and in this world today. St. Augustine has a lot to teach us. St. Augustine is a wonderful example of someone who, struggled with this, offered his resistance, put up his barriers, but in the end realized what he would receive in terms of surrender and conversion was much better than the resistance that he offered. St. Augustine, pray for all of us that we may surrender to this power infinitely greater than ourselves in a love that is everlasting.